Thank you, Pastor TJ. On behalf of the National Urban League and the Urban League of Broward County, I would like to thank the Jenkins family and the Dolphins organization for the opportunity to share in this public remembrance of Jason Jenkins. I realize that I stand in proxy for the many not-for-profit organizations who either had the opportunity to have Jason serving on their board of directors or organizations that he made connections for through his work. So on behalf of all of them, I say thank you, and we express our condolences to you. One of my vice presidents who worked very closely with Jason over the years shared a statement with me this week. She said, "Some people will be missed, but there are those who will be remembered, and Jason is one who will be remembered." I reflected on that statement when I received the call to participate this afternoon. What made Jason one to be remembered? Was it his keen understanding of being present? The first time I met Jason was at an Urban League fundraising event in 2016 when Tom Garfinkel was receiving an award from the Urban League. Coming close to the end of the evening, Jason approached me and he said, "I want to be a part of this." Now, for anyone who has actually been a part of executing a large-scale event, you know by the end of the evening, you're pretty much spent and your comprehension is pretty low. Therefore, my response to Jason was much more reflective of thinking that he wanted to attend next year's event. He quickly and kindly stopped me and said, "No, I mean I want to be a part of the Urban League." And from that moment, he was an Urban Leaguer. And there's a saying in our movement, once an Urban Leaguer, always an Urban Leaguer. Jason had a keen understanding that being present was important. What made Jason one to be remembered? Was it his clear sense of purpose? When I called him to let him know that his fellow board members wanted to nominate him to join the executive committee of the board of the Urban League, his response was that of gratitude and wanting to understand how he would serve with purpose in his role, given his many responsibilities. Jason always wanted his yes to mean something because his purpose to serve with integrity and excellence was evident in every role he chose to take on. What made Jason one to be remembered? Was it the way he used his power? And I'm defining power today as using your influence for a greater good, to effectuate change for others. Jason had a unique way of remaining relatively quiet in meetings, and then he would speak, and it would be as though he closed all the gaps in the conversation. In 2019, he chose to have the Dolphins organization host the Urban League's fundraising event because he wanted to demonstrate to the board and to others a certain return on investment to the organization's unrestricted fund. No one knew clearly at that time it would be the last in-person fundraising event for 2 years. And his decision to do that helped the Urban League be able to steady the ship in 2020. Jason understood his placement and how that place had power and had influence that can be used to connect dots that were not so obvious to others. What made Jason one to be remembered? Was it the way that he recognized that how you can use power, presence, and purpose, but most importantly, being proximate was the game-changing factor? Jason chose to be proximate to the children, families, community leaders, and others that he worked beside. He did not just speak from ivory towers. In his near 6 years of service, there's no shortage of pictures of Jason in the Urban League's archives. And those pictures are of Jason being proximate, serving and sharing. I will never forget his phone call after the blockbuster movie Black Panther hit the theaters. Jason called because he and his family wanted to rent out a movie theater and fill it with students to see the movie and share this really great cultural experience and pride that we all were experiencing. And true to form, Jason did not only rent the theater, he was proximate. Standing in the middle of all the faces of the children was Jason's smile. As much as we were all shocked by the news a little over a week ago, and each person is processing the loss in their own way, I want to conclude with this last bit of encouragement, because that is the last point for me about remembering Jason. He always encouraged me as a leader to live and be my best. I believe that as we ponder here on earth, a still small voice whispered to Jason from the book of Jeremiah, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." And Jason lived out those good plans, being proximate, living with purpose, using his power, and being present. And he was able to say from the book of Timothy, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." And in response, that still small voice came back, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter into your place of rest." We will miss Jason, and Jason will be remembered. God bless.